What is up, guys, and welcome to another edition of Market Marauders. Beating the market one trade at a time. Freedom Market Marauders investment channel helps you to find the best deals in the market. If that's something you're interested in, make sure you smash the subscribe button down below, like, comment, and share. Now, as you guys know, it is earnings season, so going to be going over some earning plays for today and some other stuff about some breakouts that I saw today. So let's jump into those. So it's been a pretty interesting day in the market. A lot of stuff going up. Yesterday I wasn't able to get on here talk about the earnings from yesterday, but there's only one, so I'm going to go over it. If you like to check out the earnings, make sure you check out the community tab. In the community tab, I have all of my earnings plays for the week. Also, make sure you add your boy on Instagram. So this is my Instagram page, so make sure you add me on that. This is my brand page. So I do have a clothing company. It's called Sus, so make sure you check that out. Probably doing a giveaway sometime in the near future, so check that out. Look forward to that. But without further ado, let's jump into these earnings for the week. So yesterday, iClick had an earnings. Their moving average 10 is $9.85. Moving average 50 is $9.29, and the moving average 100 is $8.98. So they ended today at $9.87. Looks like after hours they went down about 11 cents to end at $9.76. So not too bad as far as the metric is concerned. Woo, tongue twister. As far as the metrics are concerned, it looks like they went up. The VWAP 14 is pretty up, so volume is still pretty high for this stock in general, so that's a good sign. They are bullish, denoted by the moving average 10 line being above the moving average 50 and the moving average 100 line. So that is a very good sign. If you were able to get into this stock before their earnings, you probably made a little bit of a profit. From the run up, you probably got a little bit of profit because it was down at 888 and now it went all the way up to 1013. So if you're able to secure that yesterday, you probably made a little bit of profit on that. So, you know, pretty good as far as that metric is concerned. But let's jump into their earnings. So their earnings was actually yesterday. They are a Chinese company. So for revenue, has their revenue increased in 2020 to 52,969 compared to 46,590. So an increase of 14%. Their enterprise solutions increased 87%. Total revenue increased 18%. Gross profit increased 22%. Net loss looks like it decreased, so that's pretty good. Adjusted EBITDA was plus 322%. So that's a fantastic metric. And it looks like they were actually positive on their net income / loss. So that's pretty good as far as that's concerned as well. Going into the next one that we have on here, who had their earnings actually today. One of the ones that I was looking forward to is Best Buy. If we look at Best Buy, they kind of fell off today. They rallied before earnings and were bullish, but they fell down and seemed to be pretty bearish after earnings. But that's to be expected. A lot of companies, did that. If you look at Alibaba, they did the same thing. Walmart did the same thing. A lot of the retail companies that had earnings prior did this exact same thing, but they rallied up afterwards. So that's what I'm looking forward to in the following days after this earnings. So the moving average 10 on them is $111.98. Moving average 50 on them is $113.58. Moving average 100 on them is $112.34. And their VWAP 14 seems to be low, denoted by how many people sold off. Volume also went down as well. And they are bearish at the current moment, denoted by the moving average 10 line being below the moving average 50 and the moving average 100 line. So pretty bearish stock as far as that's concerned. But I think, they can pull back to be bullish in the near future. So they ended the day at $112.64. And after hours, it looks like they went up 1 cent to be $112.65. So let's jump into their earnings and see how they performed. So their earnings were really good, in my personal opinion, a lot better than I expected. But enterprise comparable sales increased 5.8%. Domestic comparable online sales increased 242%. So that's a large metric, for that to actually, increase. GAAP diluted EPS increased 85% to $1.65. Non-GAAP diluted EPS increased to 58% to $1.71. And basically their online sales grew quite a bit thanks to the pandemic situation. But one stock that I would, compare them to is ticker sign TGT, which is Target. Target had a fantastic earnings, and the exact same thing happened with them. They fell down, but then they had a continuation where they rallied up to like a crazy amount in the next couple of days after their earnings. So I'm expecting a similar thing like this with Best Buy. Ironically, Best Buy and Target were both stores that were looted like crazy. But I think some of the Best Buys barricaded their stuff and their workers didn't come in. But I think both companies benefited. So if you want to find a stock that is comparable to the way Best Buy will perform, look at Target after its earnings. I have a video about that on my channel. It's one of my live streams, so just go through those and you can see Target's performance after its earnings. So I'll definitely be following this one in the following weeks to see how it performs. I'm definitely expecting it to break out because these are fantastic sales numbers and better than anybody expected, in my personal opinion. So going into the next one that had earnings, we got Intuit, which has been on a crazy bullish run upwards, but their run upwards has been pretty slow, in my personal opinion. It hasn't moved up fast. It's moved up, but it hasn't been like dramatically fast. Like it'll go up a little bit in a day, go up slowly, gradually, but they are still bullish, so that's a good sign. And it seems like a lot of people, based on the left-hand side, are still bullish on their position. So it looks like a lot of people believe in the company and its earnings. So with that being said, their moving average 10 is $335.38. Moving average 50 is $326.59. And the moving average 100 is $317.87. So they ended the day today at $336.42. And after hours rallied up $21.07. So after hours, definitely a big flex on the stock price. I know I was watching this majority of the day, and seeing this go up $21, I was definitely shocked to see that. So, pretty big move forward and a pretty big bullish position for tomorrow opening. I don't think they're going to sell off, based off that. And I think it's going to continue to go up. So going into their earnings and see how their earnings perform. It says Intuit full year revenue up 13%, which is a pretty good metric. Going to some of the highlights on here. For the fourth quarter, which reflects a shift of significant portion of tax filings out of the third quarter into the fourth quarter, Intuit grew to $1.8 billion, up from $994 million in the prior year. Increased consumer group revenue of $710 million. Increased small businesses and self-employed group revenue up 16% to $1.0 billion. And online ecosystem revenue by 29%. Excluding non-recurring paycheck protection program revenue, so excluding the PPP loan revenue, their growth was up 13% and 25% respectively. So for full year and Intuit, grew revenue to $7.7 billion, up 13% year over year. If we look on here, grew combined QBO and TTO platform revenue 22%, totaling approximately 4.8 billion. Grew small business and self-employment group revenue by 15% and online ecosystem revenue by 13%. Excluding non-recurring PPP revenue growth was 14% and 30% respectively. Grew consumer group revenue 13%, increased GAAP operating income to 2.2 billion, up 17%. Increased non-GAAP operating income to 2.7 billion, up 17%, and increased GAAP and non-GAAP earnings by 17 and 16% respectively. So pretty good metrics as far as that's concerned. I know a lot of people use QuickBooks and TurboTax, so I kind of expected them to go up and have a really good earnings, especially considering the PPP program and people trying to get their books in order to take advantage of that. But they're talking about excluding the PPP revenue. They still grew. That's still a pretty good metric. So I think people expected them to grow just based off of the PPP Paycheck Protection Program revenue, but they grew in spite of that. So I think that's a pretty good metric for the company in general, and just basically speaks volumes for the products that they sell and that they offer. So going into Tesla. So Tesla still up, still bullish as usual. They kind of went sideways a little bit today, but if we see, they started to curl up towards the end of the day, which means they might, be due for a breakout in the morning. For a large portion of the day, they were down, fluctuated between 18,000 and 19,000. A large portion they were like back and forth between that line, $19.99, so $1,999 at $2,000, and then towards the end of the day, it looks like they kind of broke out from that. So their moving average 10 is $1,999, moving average and 68 cents. Moving average 50 is $2,018.55. Moving average 100 is $1,919.86. So VWAP still looking pretty strong. They did cross the moving average 50 line, so maybe a possible bearish trend beginning, but I don't think so. It looks like it kind of recovered towards the end of the day, and price-wise, went above the moving average 50. So I think they'll recover tomorrow with another breakout, which they usually do in the morning. Probably, in my opinion, go up, a little bit more. Looks like after hours they already rallied some more for the $24.46. And, tomorrow, in my opinion, possibly seeing let's get to 2030 early morning. 2060 is what I meant to say, early morning. So I'm looking at that price for 2060, and hopefully it'll reach that by tomorrow. Seems to be a lot of people still buying, a lot of people selling as well on the left-hand side. So kind of mixed feelings about this one. This stock does not move at a regular pace compared to other ones. Lots of volatility as long as this one is concerned. There's still some major events, that investors are looking for Tesla. One being S&P 500 inclusion. The other one being smashing that thumbs up button. But the other one being Battery Day, which is on September 15th. So on September 15th, Tesla's going to have Battery Day at their Fremont factory, where they're going to go and basically debut their cars and their assembly process and how they make batteries. So it should be a pretty good demonstration on what they do at their factory. So I'm looking forward to that. And going into Apple, which I've seen a lot of people say is just too high, way too high at this level, which, I kind of have mixed feelings about. I don't understand why a lot of investors or in the investment community, people are saying that this stock is too high. They still haven't even announced the 5G phone, so I think it still has, more room to run up. In my personal opinion, I don't think, they're done with where they're at. So, I think they still have plenty of room to run up. in the future, and they could definitely take advantage of that. So, going into where the price is at now, at $499.60, I think is a really good price for it to be at right before the split. So if you don't know, Tesla and Apple have a split coming up. So last Friday was the day of record for both of their splits. Tesla's going to have a 5-to-1 split. So if you had shares of Tesla on Friday, for every share you have, you will have 5 shares on August 31st. For Apple, every share of Apple that you have, you will have 4 shares based on the record date of Friday. So last Friday was the record date for that. So if you're not familiar with that, that is what's happening with the stock. So going into what I feel about the price, I don't think it's too high because there's still a lot of updates that Apple is, still going to be producing. They have a bright future ahead, in my personal opinion. And definitely once we see the split happens, I think a lot more people will get into the stock. Apple and Tesla, in my opinion, is the stock where people parked majority of their money for the long haul. So basically, almost a recession-proof stock. I don't think people were looking to buy these stocks for capital appreciation. I think people were looking to buy these stocks just for the fact that it's kind of a secure bet that your money will be safe. So, where do people park their money? It's in this. There may be a sell-off coming up, but I don't think it's going to be anytime soon with these, especially considering the price of the stocks are going to be a lot cheaper. So there are a lot of investors who, probably were waiting to get in and want whole shares. I know a lot of people in the financial community are saying, what's the point of having a stock split when you could buy partial shares? But I think people really realistically want whole shares of a company. It looks a lot better in your portfolio if you have one full share opposed to a portion of a share. So I think people will buy it just on the fact that they will have whole shares and not portions of shares. I think mentally that makes people feel like they have more than what they do. In the financial world, people don't look at it that way. They don't look at it as like, I have 10 shares, but if you look at your portfolio and you have 10 shares opposed to having, 0.35 shares, I think the 10 shares kind of speak more volumes than having, 0.34 shares or 2.3 shares or something of that nature. Going into next one, we have ticker sign DKS for Dick's Sporting. Their earnings is actually going to be tomorrow. So I will try to make a video about that tomorrow once their earnings comes out. I have them as going down. I do not think that they're going to be going up. That's just my personal opinion. But definitely going to be looking at them tomorrow because their earnings is tomorrow. Their moving average 10 is $46.47. Moving average 50 is $46.31. And the moving average 100 is $46.10. So they ended the day today at $46.67. But it looks like after hours they went down. They went up $1.68 to end at $48.35. So pretty good metric as far as that's concerned. Definitely keeping my eye on this one. It looks like it's gone up and down, but mainly gone sideways for the most part. But interested to see how this performs, especially after their earnings. So talking about two that kind of had a breakout today. The first one being NIO. NIO had a crazy breakout today. If we see on here, they went all the way up to $17.84. After hours, they went to $18.57. So they had a pretty massive breakout. Massive breakout today. And I know those people who had those options, those crazy out of the money options, were definitely excited when this breakout happen. Now, I don't know the news surrounding this breakout, but it definitely was a pretty crazy breakout, considering that they ran sideways for the most part after their earnings. So after their earnings, they didn't even have a breakout like this. But now they have a breakout like this. So, pretty good for the company overall, and good for those people who were able to lock in those profits. Now, I know a lot of people in the options world have NIO calls. They were like, oh, I don't know if they're ever going to be executed or I can execute them. And I know they execute them today. Their moving average 10 is $17.12. Their moving average 50 is $14.92. And their moving average 100 is $14.38. So, pretty good metrics overall. Volume was high. Looks like on the left-hand side, a lot of people were buying even after hours. So, interested to see where this actually goes tomorrow, to see if people actually, keep the stock, if they truly believe it's going to go up in the long term, or are people just going to sell off and take profits. I'm interested to see where that goes. I'll definitely keep an eye out on that one. Another one that went up today is ticker sign BIGC for Big Commerce. Now, Big Commerce has recently IPO'd. This is a fairly new company. If we look on here, they IPO'd on the 5th of August. So, relatively new company to IPO. Look at their IPO. They started off at, looks like around $67.12, and then went all the way up to $104, and then just fell off, back to levels where their IPO was at, if not lower. And then they recently have had a rally up to above where that high was. So pretty good metrics as far as that's concerned, and interested to see how they go moving forward, how they continue to grow. After hours, it seems like they went up even more, going up $5.01 to end at $109.10. So pretty impressive rally for Big C. So going into their moving average 10, it's $96.25. Their moving average 50 is $77.06, and their moving average 100 is $74.68. So pretty good metrics all the way around. Interested to see how this performs tomorrow, especially ending on such a high note. Wondering if people are going to take profits or if this is going to continue to go up. Probably do some more research news-wise to see what is causing this to go up, to see if this is the end of the line for them or if they're going to continue to go up. But, a lot of things going good for them, I guess, based on this stock price. So make sure you go add me on IG. It's the IG page, Market Marauders, and then the clothing line, Sus. Make sure you cop some gear. Be doing a giveaway soon, so make sure you get that. Also put some more designs on the community tab alongside the plays for the week, so make sure you check out the community tab for that. Hope everybody's able to lock in some profits this week, and I will see you guys next time. Good luck to everybody out there trading, and make sure you drop a comment down below. Tell me if you were able to lock in some profits this week. All right, see you guys next time. Peace.